How's it going, my people? It's David, and I'm bringing you a video of my most recent deadlift PR. I ended up pulling 685 from the floor. No deficit, no bands, just a regular deadlift bar loaded with some weight on it. And what I'm showing you is my full week of training. I have it a little out of order. I think it goes back, chest, then legs in this video, but I actually do um, back on Monday, legs on Tuesday, chest on Wednesday, rest Thursday and Friday, and then squat, bench, and deadlift on Saturdays. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing here and what you're doing here too. And I actually quit my job. I quit my 9 to 5 job working as a tax accountant. And I couldn't feel better, to be honest with you. It definitely was a step that was much needed for myself, for my own personal development. And this is something I've always wanted to do. I just really haven't had the confidence until recently to start doing this. And honestly, this is going to be pretty difficult. This is a longer video. It's going to be about 33 minutes, it's looking like. And I gotta find a way to commentate over this whole thing, which is definitely going to take me multiple trials, errors. But we're going to get it done. It's going to be a learning experience for you and me both. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. And let's get going. So, I might as well just get started talking about the training. And here you see me using a Life Fitness lat pull down. I like this one a lot because as you can see, my left and right hands are on their own separate track, so it feels pretty good on each side. Feels pretty even. It's really good for working imbalances too. If you're not even on your left and right lat pull down, this is really good for making sure that you're contracting and pulling it pretty evenly. And that's the name of the game when it comes to my training. I definitely train in a more unconventional way. Me and my friends, we do accessory movements like this during the week, and then on Saturdays, that's when we powerlift, squat, bench, and deadlift. As of I've been rotating between every other weekend, I rotate between squatting and deadlifting. So on weekends where I squat, I won't deadlift, and on Saturdays where I deadlift, I won't squat, but I'll bench every single Saturday. And it's been working well. I've been doing that for the last like 2 months, and I like how it feels on my body. I don't feel too beat up. I feel like I can recover pretty well. But I've been training this accessory focus way for a couple of years now. Like at least 4 or 5 years, I want to say. And this method of training wasn't invented by me. I wish I could say it was, but it definitely was not. It was made by my main man Pete. He's the owner of this fine establishment, this fine gym, and this gym is actually where I work now. I quit my 9 to 5 job to start working here as a manager. And at the time of this video, I wasn't working here, but it's been a couple weeks. I hate to say that, but it has been a couple weeks since these videos have been recorded, and I've been working here. It's been going really good. I've been training at Hercules Gym for 8 years now. I first walked in the doors in spring of 2018, 2026. It's crazy how time flies, and yeah, but yeah, here we are. Here I am on the Watson chest supported row. This is going to be my horizontal row, horizontal power row, I guess you could say. I always like to incorporate a heavier kind of movement in all of my days, whether it's chest day, leg day, back day, just to get the CNS going. But the main reason I train like this is to keep my fatigue pretty low. During the week, my fatigue is pretty low. It's a pretty low stressful workout. Like, I definitely look forward to these kind of workouts because it's honestly all about building the pump, um, building your mind muscle connection. And the main thing is you want to work on your weaknesses. Whatever weaknesses you might have, this is going to be the methodology you want to follow to build them and turn your weaknesses into your strengths. How Hercules Gym operates is Pete is always trying to buy the best pieces of equipment for the gym. Some of them are pretty rare, I will say. Some of them are very rare, very expensive, and they work very well. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 6 years, and it's brought my total from like, I don't know, like 1300, 1400 to now my best competition total I think is 1840. So definitely a little more unconventional because most powerlifters uh, you will see hitting squat, bench, and deadlift multiple times a week, but I don't, and my training partners don't really either. This is how we train throughout the week: is we go ham on these machines, get a good pump, get a good workout in, and then rest up and hit the heavy singles on Saturdays. It's always singles too. It's never doubles, triples, or anything like that. It's always singles. It takes a lot of focus to be able to do a heavy single on a squat, bench, deadlift. You also have to have really good technique, and that's the main objective for our powerlifting training, is our we're trying to get stronger while also bringing our technique with us. Is that's how you'll be able to smash through new PRs, and it'll also help you put on a lot more muscle too. Because once you get stronger on the big three lifts, it'll carry over to your accessory movements. And you see me right here, I'm using the Panada lat pull down. Once again, that one is your left and right a little bit separated. So it helps build you evenly from both sides. Same here. This is a strive low row. Once again, your left and right are separated, so you have independent control of one side or the other. And it helps a lot, honestly. You see the different loading horns. So there are three different loading horns on this one. On the side of the machine, it tells you like what emphasis each one does. I kind of like starting with one on each peg, and then slowly but surely I add one to the bottom. I think I'll add one to the middle, add one to the top. I don't go super heavy on this day. I'm really just trying to get the squeeze and trying to leave a lot of weight on the bar. Or I'm trying to not load this workout super heavy so that I can go heavier on Saturday. Because that's also one thing I've learned throughout training like this is the heavier you go throughout the week, the more of your CNS you're going to use, and the more your CNS you use during the week, voice crack, sorry, the more your CNS you use during the week, the less CNS you're going to have on Saturday. So that's the other thing. It's all about finding a balance between how far you can push it through the week, but also maintain your strength for Saturdays. Because there are definitely times where I train too hard, try to PR and everything like a damn idiot, and then Saturday comes around and I don't feel too great. I don't feel like I can push the most amount of weight today. I can always work up to a solid floor and then go from there, but sometimes when I train too hard throughout the week, it feels definitely more difficult, definitely need more focus to hit that floor, which is not what you really want to be doing. I always train on the side of being conservative because working out to me, it's a marathon. I'm trying to do this for my whole entire life. I don't want to do this for just a couple years and fall off. I've been training as a whole for 10 years, and this methodology of training that I've been following has brought me to new heights, like further than I've ever would have thought I could accomplish. When I first started training, I was doing more bodybuilding styled workouts, and what that basically means is lots of sets and lots of reps on everything. I thought singles were stupid because you couldn't really get a pump off of them, including like your bench press, your squat, and your deadlift. I wouldn't really bench press when I was bodybuilding. I would do a lot of inclined barbell, inclined dumbbell, but I would never really do a straight up a flat bench press, just never. Because in a bodybuilding sense, it's not super helpful. It's not super helpful for putting on muscle. It's good for building strength, but like I said, at that time when I was bodybuilding, strength was the last thing on my mind. I never ran a strength cycle until after my first bodybuilding show, which was my first bodybuilding show was December 2019. I did that naturally in an NPC show in December. And NPC, it's an untested federation, or I guess an untested division for bodybuilding. But the way things panned out, it was pretty much the only show I could do. Because, like I said, my training is unorthodox, and honestly, my whole life has been a little unorthodox. When I first graduated high school, I went to SU. declared my major to be aerospace engineering because I liked planes. I wanted to work on planes. Something to do with that. I thought it would be good for me because I was good at math, I was good at science. And in high school, when you're good at those things, all your guidance counselors are always like, oh, you should do engineering. Yeah, like if you're good at math and science, you should do engineering. You're going to be great at engineering. And I was not good at engineering at all. I remember in my first engineering class, we had like, damn, another voice crack, but we only had 2 or 3 tests throughout the year before the final. Maybe the third test is including the final. Can't exactly remember. But what I do remember is every time we take one of those tests, our professor, he would put all the scores on the smartboard around like the border of it. No names, just just the numbers. And every single time I'd look at the lowest one, I'd be like, damn, like that poor person. I wonder who that was. I wonder who that is. And every single time it was me. And I was like, ah, fuck. This might not be for me. And I was right, because after that semester, I changed all my classes to follow an accounting major pathway. And I finished my year at SU, but at the time I was pretty miserable here up in Syracuse. And because of that, I ended up transferring to St. John's University down in Queens the following year, following fall semester. So I did my freshman year up at SU, and then I did my fall semester of my sophomore year down at St. John's, following accounting once again. But at the time, I was dating a girl up here in Syracuse, so every single weekend I drive to Syracuse from New York City, which is about 5 hours. I want to say it was about 4 to 5 hours, and I know. Honestly, thinking back about it, it's kind of like crazy to hear that aloud, to think I did that, but when you're in love, man, it makes you do crazy things. And honestly, I don't regret it at all because if I wasn't doing that, I don't think I would have came back because that's why I ended up coming back to Syracuse was because I was dating this girl and because of this gym, because of Hercules Gym. Because every time I'd come up, I'd visit her, and when she would want to go to the parties, whatever, I never really wanted to. I would go out a lot my freshman year, but after that, it just felt so like rinse and repeat. It felt like the same thing over and over and over again. So that's when I started coming to this gym because I'm going all over the place. But my freshman year, SU they started to redo their main gym, and they put all their equipment into this tiny little building, and it was horrendous. It was hot. It was sweaty. It felt like a sauna in there, and it just felt disgusting. And then my good friend Shij, still best friends to this day, him and Emmerich, another one of my good friends, best friends. My first time visiting Hercules, Shij brought me to Hercules with Emmerich, and it was honestly love at first sight. As soon as I walked in, I was like, "Damn, this is the place I want to be." I got a day pass, did my workout, and afterwards, I didn't know how I would get back, but I was like, I need to get a membership here. So I did. I signed up for a membership, and then how I ended up getting back here was I would Uber here back and forth pretty much every single day. And as you can imagine, that's quite expensive. So I basically chose working out at this gym instead of going out like going out at all. I stopped drinking like that. I stopped going out because it's expensive to go out, but and it's also expensive to Uber here. But I decided that this was way more worth it. It was way better for my mental health because, like I said, at the time I was just kind of miserable, did not enjoy being in Syracuse at all. But this was like heaven on earth to me at the time. I walked in, and it always felt like I was supposed to be here every single time. Even to this day, every single time I walk in, it feels like I'm supposed to be here. It doesn't feel like I'm out of place. It feels like I fit right in, right where I'm supposed to be. And that kind of feeling is pretty rare. And this gym, along with my girlfriend at the time, is why I ended up coming back to SU. So I come back to SU for my spring semester of my sophomore year. and I'm still following an accounting program course load. But that summer, I'm like, damn, maybe I should give engineering another shot, maybe another different type of engineering. So I take some classes at my local community college. This is back in Poughkeepsie, so it's Dutchess Community College. And I took physics, I want to say. I took calculus, and I did not finish calculus. I did not like that class at all. And so after I did that, I was like, no, I really don't think engineering is for me. And so I continue forward with my accounting courses. At least I tried to. I tried to register for those classes, but because I wasn't officially in the Whitman School of Business, they weren't going to allow me to keep taking business classes, my accounting classes, to work towards that accounting degree. And at the time, they were like, oh, well, like, you're going to have to use this year and, like, take all these classes that are, they didn't say this, but they're like, oh, well, this year you have to take all these classes that are essentially worthless to what you're doing. And I was like, I can't do that. And so that's when I decided to take a year off from school. And that fall is when I decided to start prepping for a bodybuilding competition. And that was like, to this day, it's one of the best decisions I've made in my life because it showed me I could really do what I set out to do. If I want to accomplish something, I can really set my mind out to achieve it, which is what I'm trying to do here as well. And I always try to use things to build positive energy, to build positive momentum, to really push myself forward because I know that's the only direction I can go is forward. When you think about the past a lot, it's not going to really help you at all. When you think about things you might have done, things you wish you could have done differently in the past, it's really not going to help you at all in this present moment. It's not going to help you at all move forward. And in that moment, I knew I couldn't do that. I knew I had to just keep pushing forward and put my time and energy into something that's going to allow me to push forward. Because at that time, at that fall, it's fall 2019 at this point, that's also when I was going through a breakup with that same girlfriend. We had broken up earlier in that summer, and man oh man, my head was a fucking mess. But bodybuilding is such a, you really gotta dive head and toes into it. There's no shortcuts, there's no cheating it. You're either dieting, eating what you're supposed to, doing your cardio, getting your lifts in, going to the grocery store, getting your food, cooking, all that kind of stuff, or you're not. And so because it was such a full life experience, I'd say, it really helped me hone in on that and really helped me be present. And that's something that is super important to me is maintaining that feeling of being present. It helps me establish and create a flow state in my mind, allow me to focus on what I'm just working on at hand. And it's something I've used to this day, every day to this day, pretty much. Just try to be present, try to get in that flow state. And that's what this is trying to, this is what this is doing for me as well. It's helping me stay present. But, like I was saying, unorthodox and the Bible competition. So that was in December 2019. Then, come January 2020, I'm trying to work as a bouncer downtown, trying to save up money, but also like this is also when I'm starting to get into powerlifting because during that peak week for bodybuilding, I watched a movie called West Side versus the World, and I saw that and I was like, damn, like I'm sitting here getting ready for my competition, I'm weak as fuck. I look great, I think I look great, but damn, I'm fucking weak and I'm tired, I'm hungry. And I watched that movie, and those guys are the exact opposite of that. They're fucking strong, strong like damn gorillas, man. Jesus Christ. I know, so quit powerlifting, it's different than raw powerlifting, but watching that really motivated me to actually run a strength program. And so after my bodybuilding competition, that's when I started to focus on strength. That's when I started to run my first strength program. And I haven't stopped since then. And the main reason is because when you get stronger, that's the best way to put on muscle, in my opinion, at least for what I've found. I'm not doing this to try and be a toothpick. That's the last thing I want to do. When I was a kid, I would watch movies, specifically the Hulk, and I always wanted to be the Hulk. I wanted to be big and strong so I could help others. And powerlifting has enabled me to do that. I've gotten a lot stronger. There's nothing I love more than helping other people, helping my friends, helping people I don't even know get stronger. It's very rewarding. But yeah, so January 2020, February 2020, March 2020, we all know what happens. It is COVID. The world shuts down. Absolutely insane. And what do? I reach out to Pete, ask to buy some equipment. I asked to buy a barbell, a bench press, and some weights. And he supplied it. He really helped me out. He gave me a bench press, a barbell, and about 500 pounds in weight, 4 to 500 pounds, I want to say. And it was perfect because at the time, my maxes were in the 400-pound range. So it was the perfect amount of weight, perfect time to actually do it. And so during COVID, I was powerlifting in my garage. I also used to pull sumo, and I'm glad that no one got to see that because it was not a pretty sight. But stepping stones. You can't be who I am today if it wasn't for that. And so all COVID, I was doing that. Also started working for a moving company just because I couldn't be at home. It was like, it was such a bad thing for me to just sit at home just doing nothing essentially. The workouts were always fun, but before and after that, it was just not good for my mental health. So I started working for a moving company, and it was a lot of fun. I work with some people, Josh and Devante, and we called ourselves the A team because there was another group of movers. Again, goddamn, there was another group of movers for the moving company, and we were the better ones, so we called ourselves the A team. And so after that, come back to Syracuse, come back to Hercules Gym. I'm at Oswego finishing up my accounting degree, and that's when things really start to click. I start to get close with Pete, the owner, start to get close with other people in the gym too, continue strength training, and I couldn't write a better story than this, to be honest with you, because I'm still here, still doing what I love, and that's that's what I want to share with everyone that's watching this is you really gotta do what you love in life. I made that mistake at an early age by listening to other people because I believed that those people knew what was best for me, but in reality, they did not. In life, it takes a lot of time to figure out who you can listen to, who you can trust, who you can get advice from, and it takes a lot of time. That's the thing I gotta say the most. It takes a lot of time. You'll figure it out, but as you go through life, you'll figure it out. And here I am. I quit my job. I'm working at Hercules Gym. The reason I bring all this up is just so you can have a slight understanding of who I am as a person. I'll definitely make more videos that are more specific and more detailed about my background and stuff, how I got into training, what made me do it, that kind of things. But I guess as a first kind of intro video, I'm trying to just throw a lot of things at you guys, which might not be the best, but I want you guys to have an understanding of who I am, who the person in this video is, because I truly want to help. I want to make these videos to help the young lifters, whether you're a man, a girl, something else. If you're in the gym, I want to help you because if you're in the gym, it means you're trying to better yourself. Hopefully. There are people in the gym who come to socialize, and those people I don't care to help because they're not here for the right reason. When you walk into the gym, it's it's a holy place in my opinion. It's a place where you're coming to better yourself, and you can really use the gym to create the version of yourself that you never thought you could achieve. That's what I want to help you guys achieve, my audience. I want to help my audience achieve things that they never thought was possible. Whether it be hitting a PR in the gym or something else, doing something in your life, taking a step in your life you never thought was possible, maybe asking someone out, stuff like that. Things that aren't always so easily quantifiable, but they add immense quality to your life. Because that's what the gym has done to me, has added a lot of quality in my life, has helped introduce a lot of quality people into my life. And I want to help you guys with that same kind of following, the same kind of way. Here we are on the leg day portion of this video, which I'd say is the best day. I really do love my leg days. It's really hard to say one is better than the other. If you know me, I say all the days are the best because today is always the best day. It's always a chance for opportunity to change something you want to change in your life, or maybe just keep things going in a way that's been helpful for you. But um, but the most important thing, like I was saying before, is creating quality in your life. And a good way to do that is by starting the gym. Use the reps to facilitate that kind of mentality, that kind of growth for yourself. Your reps should always be of the utmost quality, the best quality. You shouldn't be sacrificing your form just to move some weight. You shouldn't be sacrificing quality for quantity. It's definitely the wrong thing to try to bring about positive change in your life. But I have not always thought like this. When I was a young man just getting started in the gym, I was 16 when I first started lifting. Uh, it was not always like that. I didn't always think like that. I always wanted to have good quality in the way I worked out, but you don't really connect the dots until you get older, until you get to experience life. You don't realize that everything in your life is connected, and you might be wondering how it's connected. And the way it's connected is through you. It's the way you approach things, the way you handle things. Life doesn't get any easier as you get older. In fact, it probably gets more difficult, but you get better suited, better adapted to handle these things. And the gym has always been that key component for me. The way I handle things in the gym is how I want to handle things outside the gym as well, in a very high quality fashion. Because I know everything I do is going to be a reflection of me. The way I perform these reps on this leg press, quad extensions, hamstring curls, whatever it be, is a reflection of me. The way I speak to people is going to be a reflection of me. The way I walk into establishment, whether it be someone's home or business or whatever it be, is going to be a reflection of me. And the sooner you kind of realize that, the sooner you kind of start to build that confidence in yourself that I am the driver of my life, the sooner you'll be able to realize what is truly meant for you and what is not meant for you. And honestly, for my first video, I didn't expect things to really get this deep, but I want it to be. This whole week of training led up to a deadlift PR for myself, a 10-pound deadlift PR. And I love deadlifting. I love all the movements, but I love hitting deadlift PRs. There's something about just standing there with more weight in your hand than ever before. And throughout this whole week, I don't have this on video, but throughout this whole week, my whole issue when it comes to deadlifting is my head and my neck aren't always aligned with my back and my shoulders. So here I'm on the Body Master lower back machine, and what I'm trying to do is really just keep my head and my neck connected with my back and my shoulders. And throughout this whole week, what I was doing in my free time is I'd try to pack my neck and keep it in a line with my back and my shoulders. And that's honestly how I ended up deadlifting more because when they're not aligned, the weight of the bar is going to pull you forward a little bit. And the more it pulls you forward, the more difficult the rep is going to be, the harder it's going to be to lock out. And so the more stacked you can be with your whole body, the stronger you're going to be. And so throughout this whole week, like I said, I was just kind of practicing that with different things, whether it be in the gym or at home. And that's the kind of obsession it takes to push yourself to these new heights. You really have to want to do it. You're not going to just happen to do it one day, unless you're very genetically gifted, which is another topic for another conversation, because when it comes to lifting, a lot of it has to do with genetics. You can really work hard and stuff, but everything that you do is going to end up getting filtered through genetics. But yeah, this is the last couple minutes of this video. I just want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me rambling. I want to get better at doing this, and the only way for me to get better at doing this is by doing this. So I want to keep making videos like this. I really enjoy it. It's really nice for me to make these videos. I really want to give back to everyone that watches these videos, because if there's one thing that's for certain in my life is I get a lot of positive energy from my friends, from my family, and even from strangers. I'll be walking around, people will be like, "Damn, you're so big, man. You look so strong." And I'm like, "Thank you. It really means a lot." And it really does, because the man you see right now performing hamstring curls on this ham tractor is the version of myself I only dreamed I would become. Like I said, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be the Hulk so I could be big and strong and help people. And I can say I'm doing it. It's never finished. I won't say I'm done, but I'm doing it. I am big and strong, and I am trying to help people. So, you gotta keep this ball going. You gotta keep everything going. Help you guys get big and strong. That's always the goal. I'd rather be in a room full of big and strong people than not. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in and listening. If you have any suggestions, any kind of topics you want me to discuss, please feel free to leave a comment, send me a message, whatever it be. But anything you guys want me to discuss, please, please, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so. And I'll let the last little bit of this video just play out. I have about a little less than a minute. So I'll let you guys watch me do some quad extensions on this Prime machine, which is super nice. That green, I don't even know what to call it. That green, it's a camber, that green camber arm where the belt is riding. That's what really sets this machine apart. A lot of the Prime machines, all the Prime machines have that kind of camber on it, and the old Strive machines, they have that, which really make it special. But once again, thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to talk to you soon. And here it is, the much discussed Deadlift PR, 685. Let's go, baby.